a slash a bash. Slash a bash. Slash a bash.
Let's do this, bitch.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Slasher Bash, the podcast where we're changing this, I guess, this intro spiel, and was just starting to get used to saying it. Where we pick
Okay,
a
so
horror
say
movie
franchise.
when we pick a horror movie series and critique it movie by movie. I don't know. That might change. Anyway, I'm here
Where we
with...
pick a horror topic.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll get a rigmarole at some point, and then it'll
Nice.
become second nature.
Way to drop that word in.
Rigmarole?
Yeah.
I'm surprised I actually enunciated it correctly. I'm Benjamin, one of your hosts, with my co-host Madison.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, what is up? What's going on?
Just
How's life? What are you watching?
what am I? Dude, horror all the time now. Like,
Are you watching anything other than horror?
not really, honestly.
No.
Next Level Chef. I really enjoy that
okay.
show.
Never even heard of it. So
It's one of Gordon Ramsay's cooking shows, and when I saw the concept, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this one, but it's my favorite. Like, there's
they
three
keep
different.
they keep upping the titles. Next Level.
Well, this one's so there's actually 3 different levels, and the
Uh-huh.
basement kitchen is like a shithole, and
Yeah.
the middle kitchen is like mediocre, and then the top floor is like the best kitchen you could possibly.
Well, then they should call it Next Level Kitchen.
So you're trying to get to the next level because you're a chef and you're trying to cook your way to the next level. So there's literally a platform with all the ingredients that drop down from floor to floor.
I think it should go backwards. I think it should start with really like every convenience you could possibly have, and then it gets worse over time because like a real chef can do more with less.
Well, that's what ends up happening is the people at the
okay.
bottom get like the scraps that are left over and the worst stuff to work with.
Oh, it's happening simultaneously.
Yeah, they're all cooking together. So this
Oh.
platform starts at the top. So the people on the top floor run and they get like the top proteins and like it's moves. The platform moves fast. So you have to just like do like a quick grab, and then it goes all the way to the bottom and they get the scraps and they always end up like kicking it.
That reminds me, did you ever see that Netflix show where like it was called like The Platform or something? It was a foreign
Yes.
subtitle deal, but it was like food would drop from floor to floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really watch it, but like you would get scraps from other people on like from a different platform.
This is like very similar. Like people
Okay,
have knocked stuff off.
They
the
saw that show
platform.
like, let's do this for real.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm like really obsessed with it now. It's like my
Yeah.
favorite.
That's cool. I haven't watched reality in a long time.
I typically don't, just cooking shows, but anything else.
Oh, I just mean like outside reality.
Fair.
Um.
What have you been watching?
Anyway, what have I been watching? Not much. I did watch Sinners again last night. It was the second time I watched it. And I
we
liked
should
it
do
more
that
la-
movie soon. It's a good one.
The movie is good.
Speaking of what we should do next, we
Yeah.
have a slot for one movie after this one, and when we go into Hokum. So on Instagram, I just picked a couple one-offs and had people vote on it.
I'm sorry. You said that as if like I knew what you were talking about, which I do know what you're talking about now that I think about it. But you were like Hokum. Before we go into Hokum, I was like, is that like hibernation? What is Hokum?
The movie that you're not going to watch the trailer for and go in blind.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
So
continue.
I had posted 3 choices for people to vote on. Get Out,
Okay.
I See You, and Heretic, because Nicole, shout out Nicole on Instagram, really wants us to do Heretic, and I told her we'd get to it at some point.
Why don't we just do that?
We could. The people voted Get Out, but I'd be fine doing
Oh,
Heretic
okay.
because I have a lot to say about that movie.
We also have weapons. Remember when we recorded weapons
That's true.
as our test episode, like right at the beginning?
And it turned
I
into
wonder how that
more
holds
to
up.
like a Frankenstein episode.
Did it? I don't remember.
Yeah, we ended up talking a lot about
God,
Frankenstein.
you have a good memory.
We talked for like 3 hours that night. We talked about Frankenstein, and then we got like deep into Marvel, and you told me the whole storyline for
Yeah, I ruined that for you.
Doomsday and Secret Wars.
That trailer better come out this week.
By the time we got 3 hours in, I was good and drunk, so I don't remember anything you told me, so no
Okay.
spoilers.
Yeah. You can just Google it, I guess. Anyway, We're not here to talk about any of that shit though. We're here to talk about
The Black
I almost said
Phone
weapons.
2.
The Black Phone 2. So yeah. So last week we did the first one, which you had seen before.
And you
I
had
had
not.
just been
And you
I had
loved.
not. And I loved it. And this week neither of us had seen it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you knew more about it going in because I was way off base.
I did.
With my predictions last week. His brother is not being framed for this.
No.
He is, in fact, spoilers.
It's so funny because when I saw the trailer for this and I was like, wait, the grabber's dead. It felt like...
Oh, they reveal that in the trailer.
Yeah.
That he's a ghost.
Yeah. So it felt...
Big spoiler.
Yeah.
We're spoiling this whole thing.
We're always spoilers.
I know, but we should still warn people in case it's their first time.
Okay. Spoiler alert. So when you find out in the trailer that the grabber is dead, because he says that line that's like, you of all people, Finney, should know that dead doesn't mean dead or whatever. It's funny because like the trailer like made it look like a very different film. And it's like, oh, now we're moving from like a serial killer movie to a supernatural movie. But then you think about it and it's like, well, it has always been supernatural. Like, why does it feel like a weird jump? Because then he's been talking to ghosts the whole time.
Well, I was going to say, and not to get too far, because I feel like this is going to be, prime peak half hour into this. We'll be talking about this more. But yeah, I mean, he's talking to ghosts. It makes sense that he would talk. Like, it's so cool even that he's talking to the ghost of his kidnapper.
So
from the first one.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Scott Derrickson wasn't really interested in developing a second film. He didn't really know that there was anything there to do with it.
Yeah.
And then Joe Hill, not Joe King, although he is the son of the king, Stephen.
This keeps getting more confusing.
Right. So Joe Hill emailed Scott Derrickson and just wrote, "The grabber calls Finney from hell."
Yeah, that's dope.
And that was it.
I read something that Joe Hill had an idea for if the first movie was successful for like a second movie.
Yep.
And I guess that was it. And it's so awesome. But they go places where even I wouldn't have expected them to go, even with just that premise.
Mm-hmm.
But before we jump into like the big details, just overall,
give us our facts real quick.
What I don't have any today. I'm so unprepared. I didn't even
The
take
Black
notes while I was
Phone
watching
2,
this movie.
Directed by Scott Derrickson. I don't know if it was. I think he developed the story with Joe Hill, and I don't know if it was the same writer.
His writer from the first one. What was his name? C. Robert Cargill was his co-writer.
So
on
same
this.
team.
Same exact team.
Also, I didn't realize this until I was reading the like IMDb page.
Mm-hmm.
The kid who plays the brother of Robin Ariano from the first one, same actor played the brother.
What do you mean?
So the kid who played Robin Ariano in the first one.
You're saying that as if I know who that is.
He's the Finney's friend who's teaching him how to fight and like.
I love how you know this kid's first and last name.
The one I called Atreyu.
I thought his name was Robin.
Robin, yeah, Robin
Oh, is that what
Ariano.
you said? Okay, now okay.
Yeah,
What's his last name?
Ariano.
You know that so well.
It's because
why do you know this fictional character?
It was my stepsister's last name before she was married. So I'm familiar. I know a lot of Arianos. Anyways. So yeah, so the actor came back. It's literally like the same team. The actor came back and just played his brother in Black Phone 2. The like kid with glasses.
That was him?
Yeah, same kid.
Holy shit, doesn't look anything like him.
I know. I had no fucking idea.
Man, maybe Clark Kent can disguise himself as Superman. Like, that's crazy with just glasses.
Yeah.
And a haircut, I guess. Those were good facts. Thank you for saying those. I didn't do my job this week. But also, I have the Metacritic score here, which is 61.
That's way better than
lower than the first one. I think the first one was 66, if I remember.
Okay.
Let me just double check that real quick.
Kind of in a similar range, though.
But it's weird because I feel like the second one got like a lot of like I only decided to even watch the series because of the buzz from the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So I just assumed that it was one of those rare ones where the second movie was better. But I guess we can also discuss if we think it's better or not. But I guess the first one got a 65 on Metacritic,
which we agreed was too low.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's confusing. I don't understand.
I do think that would be an okay score for this one. I think
66 or 61.
I think 60.
All right, keep going. So
in the 60s.
So yeah, so what did you think overall? Now that we have our facts out there.
I enjoyed it, but it felt like a different franchise. Like it felt like more of like a sequel to Sinister in the way that it was shot. That it actually did a sequel to Black Phone.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it had good parts, and I thought it had parts that like they could have definitely done more with or improved upon.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that part of the statement. I thought this one was just as good, if not. This reminded me of like the rare times like a first iteration in a movie series. Like it gets kind of, not that I'm saying it's better or worse, but it becomes bigger
Mm-hmm.
in a very interesting way. Like I always think Terminator 2, Aliens. You could even Back to the Future 2. Like there's something about this movie where like it totally takes it to a next level that I did not expect. And not only that, I think it's still entertaining and really cool that I don't feel like, because how do you do a sequel to this movie?
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, it's interesting watching it because you can tell like Nightmare on Elm Street was like such a like significant influence, which is not where I expected the Black Phone to go.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's weird. I think they really balanced this like tightrope of, this could have very easily been like really silly. And maybe some people think it is really silly. I think that they balanced it well enough where like, I never got pulled out completely from it. I was like, where is this going? This is cool. I don't mind that. Like he can touch them in their dreams and shit like that. Like,
yeah. What did you think
it didn't
about?
feel, and I think, hang on. I think to Scott Derrickson's credit, like he made it feel like it was it worked in this world.
Yeah.
Like whatever he was doing, I didn't feel like all of a sudden we're seeing a movie that's like belongs from a different director in a different genre. I felt like this.
He expanded the rules of the world in a way that made sense. That you were like,
yeah,
like I wouldn't have thought of it, and then I was like, okay, it does make sense. Yes, absolutely. Like, yes, the grabber. Why wouldn't he call him from hell? He's been talking to us the whole time, and like, it got a lot more. I don't know. It's funny because I feel like it feels like a more supernatural movie, but then it's like you go back to the concept of the first one, and it's like, but that was a supernatural movie.
Yeah, but he's just talking to them in that movie. Like in this movie, the grabber is like hurting his sister.
Yeah, and that definitely expands the idea.
But I think what works is they were so smart, or Joe Hill, whoever decided to keep it in the first movie, that she had this power, right? I think if you had randomly introduced like the fact that, oh, I can now have visions, you know, in my dreams in this movie and not have that in the first movie, I think it'd be a little bit more jarred by that decision to like have them interact in her dreams. But the fact that that was such a big part of the first movie,
it's like
because not only are we expanding on like the phone idea with like any phone now that's ringing that doesn't work is some sort of ghost that's trying to get help.
I loved that right away. I thought that made so much sense. That like I love that whole like I can't help you and just hanging up the phone and that being a thing. I wish that they had explored that more. That was like one of my biggest issues. I was like,
oh, what is there to explore though?
Well,
like,
so I felt like it makes it clear that it's not just the sister who has like these inherited abilities from their mom. Both kids have it. And Finney's the one who's repressed and ran from it. And the sister's the one who's leaned in. And it felt to me like they took this character. Like, I didn't really love that we started at the same fight scene, but now he's like a completely different person. Like, I'm like, I get you've been through your shit, but he felt like a totally different character in that opening fight to me.
But like, I think that, just to jump off on what you're saying, there's there. And first of all, I love this discussion. This is fucking awesome. But I like that because to me, it tells two things. One, that it's been a long time since the first. I don't know if they ever actually tell you but when you're younger, like a year feels a lot longer than it is because you're changing so much. Like I felt like this is like, they've changed a lot, both him and his sister and all the characters really, even the dad. But I like that, but it also shows some sort of like consequence of the first movie, not just with the community, but with him personally. Yeah. That is, and I didn't like the fact that he was being a bully. It seemed in the moment too, but like, I like that I didn't like that. Like I like that I had a reaction, and that was my reaction.
So what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I thought was interesting is that like it's like it sets up this movie then, so it's like really interesting to explore what happens when you both have this ability and one is avoiding it and one is leaning into it. but it felt like they told way less of Finney's story. Like, I felt like the sister was the main character in this one.
She is.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's cool about it. Like, I think that the first movie is about him and the second movie is about her. And I think that he also has this like he's in the same way the first movie, he's the A story, she's the B story. It's reversed this time. So they still have a sort of arc, both characters, but it definitely is her story. This is about their mom and the trauma, not the trauma, but like the consequences or the weight of having this power, right? Like she even says multiple times in the movie, she's like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like she's clearly terrified that she is. And I think that's interesting. And I think with him, what else is like, I see what you're saying. Like, I wish they explored it more, but to me, it's like, first of all, it's not exactly the same power, right? He's getting calls from ghosts. So he's some sort of medium, but her thing is like a completely different thing where he doesn't have dreams like she does. But wants to reject it because he's also a teenager. He doesn't want the responsibility of having to help all these people all the time, right? Like these ghosts that,
I think they did a good job too of showing that the sister doesn't necessarily want the responsibility of it. But I mean, what's the line from, is it a Marvel movie when they're like, greatness rarely calls up, or is this Transformers? Greatness rarely calls on us at a time of our choosing.
I don't know. I feel like it's a version of that has been said many times.
I feel like it's an Optimus Prime line, but
but it sounds like Optimus.
But it's not like she's like, I have to help. It's more like she has this thrust upon her and she can't choose
with her,
any
I don't
other
think
way.
She doesn't want to. It's not even about. They're trying to help her.
Yeah.
Whereas like in Finney, right? In his situation, like he is rejecting the call. No pun intended. Of the call of responsibility or whatever, where she's trying to find a solution for her issue. And like they think, oh, if we go help these kids, like I forget exactly now. It's so funny. We postponed this recording and I had watched it on Tuesday night. Why does they know about the kids dying and they think at that time that if they help these kids,
no,
they don't know about the grabber yet. So
the kid calling them is like, it's so cold here. I don't know where I am. Help me. And so they start to put those pieces together.
But why do they decide to go again? Like she's just going to go on her own.
She's trying to find out stuff about their mom because she found out that the mom had worked at this camp.
Yeah.
That was cool, that moment where we open with the call from the mom and then you get the reverse where you see that it's Gwen that she's talking to. Yeah. Chloe and I both looked at each other and we were both like, whoa, cool reveal.
I didn't know that's what was going on. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. This movie is so unexpected in ways that it really does subvert your expectations. And I can see like sort of a rejection of that in a way where it's like, oh, I didn't. Based on the first one, I didn't think this was going to go anywhere near like this because like there's some sillier moments later on where like people are floating and whatnot.
I mean, truthfully, my issues with this movie aren't with the content itself. It's more like the production. Like I hated every time they were on the lake and you could see the set. Like you could always, I kept noticing. I'm so good at where the lake ends, noticing the backdrop. Like it was clear that it was a backdrop that they were acting against the whole time.
Oh man, I'm so good usually at recognizing that.
Drove me insane, and I fucking hated the placement of the payphone right there on the lake.
I like that. That was cool.
Immediately I was like,
it looked cool.
I was like, what the fuck is this winter camp? Like who goes to camp in winter? But then Chloe and I were talking about it, and like as kids growing up in Colorado, in 6th grade you go to outdoor lab, and so for a week they send the 6th graders up to a camp like this in the mountains. I went in the middle of the fucking winter. It was freezing. We went snowshoeing and shit like that.
Oh shit.
And like high schoolers volunteer to be like our leaders, and then there's like obviously like the camp people running it too.
The CITs.
Yeah.
You mean for the volunteers or whatever?
Yeah, but they I guess I was like, oh, I guess I actually did go to winter camp in Colorado. So,
oh yeah, I was there, but fuck this movie. Yeah, I kind of liked it. Like again, I thought the placement of the phone had this really cool vibe to it, and totally unrealistic, right?
Yeah.
But it's like the Top Gun thing, like this, the desks in the hangar bay for the classroom. True. It's like it looks cool, but it's like who would do that?
I did like that every time I'd like be like, why would they do that or why didn't they do that? That question typically got answered later. Like immediately, like the first night that they're staying at the camp, I was like, why the fuck would Gwen go sleep in a bunker by herself?
Yeah.
And then later Mondo's like, I could lose my license. Don't sleep with the boys again. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Like I appreciated getting the answers for things that made no sense to me.
Well, they told her she couldn't sleep with the boys. They said you can't sleep with the boys.
Did they do that in that first scene?
Yeah,
Oh, I
there's a
missed that.
line where they're getting split up in the bunkers and like you're not allowed to sleep in that room. And I remember being like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be by yourself in this fucking thing.
One of the things I noticed right away,
yeah.
I think it was I wrote the note down and I'm pretty sure it was in Finney's room. There was a poster for a movie called The Thing That Couldn't Die.
Yes. Yeah.
You got that?
I saw it, but what is that?
I don't know what the movie is, but I was like, oh, this poster's telling us what this story is.
True. It's a real movie. The Thing That Couldn't Die. See, I thought, and I don't know when The Thing came out. Maybe it came out after this movie, time period wise, so they couldn't use the actual. I guess they could use the thing from another planet, but that movie takes place, in Antarctica where it's snowy, and so like
Sounds like The Thing.
that's what I'm saying. The Thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm talking about The Thing.
Is
But,
this like a sequel to The Thing?
No, I don't know what this is. This is no, but I want to watch this movie. The Thing That Couldn't Die is a 1958 American horror film about a man executed for sorcery 400 years in the past, whose detached head hypnotizes people in order to have them reunite his head with his body so that he can live and feast on the blood of present-day people.
Oh, I'd watch that.
This is a movie that came out in 1958.
Nice.
I gotta watch this movie.
Should this be our next film in our slot? We
Oh
have
my
to
God,
fill?
there's a Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of this.
Oh God, that'd be great. I bet you could just watch that whole thing on YouTube.
Probably. But yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to cut off your brilliant take here. And
Oh,
that
it
was not
wasn't
sarcasm.
brilliant. I was just like, oh, intentional poster.
No, I like that. Yeah, it's cool. It's about what they're about to go through. I want to talk about, before we get too deep in like, where should we go from here? Let's talk about the dad.
Okay. So, Scott Derrickson intentionally wanted him to have a redemption arc. He didn't want him to be a person who was just a piece of shit. He wanted him to be somebody who was very tragically affected by his wife's suicide.
Yeah.
So this movie, he was able to give him the redemption arc that he wanted, which I'm like, part of me doesn't want to buy into it and like forgive him. But then the other part of me is like, I've dealt with an alcoholic parent. I have lots of friends who have alcoholic parents. And when people get sober, they do become different people.
Well, 100%. Yeah. I think for me, I think it's good that they didn't actually show a lot of that in the first movie. They like alluded to a lot of, like, I even thought they were alluding to like sexual abuse when like she's in bed and she's like scared that he's outside her door. I thought that was sort of like an allusion to that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me interpreting it wrong. But it's weird because I think we talked about abuse being like the big theme of the first movie. I think in this movie, any sort of like deeper meaning or message or metaphor for what they're going through is kind of like pushed aside just for like the horror aspect alone of it, which I actually kind of like, which I like it because like I don't need another movie about abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like I think this is the only direction they could have really gone with this, as far as like, we did sort of the big metaphor thing, the serious thing. Now let's just like make this sort of supernatural world out of it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that bothered me was like, my interpretation of the first movie was like, this dad it's not just getting beat with a belt here, right? Like something else weird is going on, but we never see it. So I think you can let that go in this one and just be like, I guess it wasn't more than that.
Yeah.
I guess it was just verbal abuse and some belting, and that's it. And sure.
Just 3 of the 4 types of abuse.
Yeah, just like,
I guess it was abuse light.
Yeah, it was abuse light.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I always find it hard to try to like go back and forgive a character like that, because it's one of those
I agree.
like, maybe you can forgive, but you can't forget.
Yeah. Honestly, like I feel like I am glazing this movie a little bit, but like the whole dad thing, even if you forget, like maybe it wasn't really that bad of abuse, I don't even understand why even have him this heavily in the movie. Like when he shows up at the end and he's there just randomly trying to help them, I guess you need him there to believe his kids in a way, but it would just seem like do we need him to be here for this? Like he's like they never really have a scene where they're like, I'm sorry. Like he says, I'm sorry to them. You know what I'm saying? Like they have that scene where they're all three of them are outside and
Yeah.
he's trying to which is kind of a fun scene, but like I just like I don't think he needs to be here. I mean, I guess like it's nice to know that his wife didn't kill herself.
Mm-hmm. And that his kids aren't lying about their abilities.
Yeah. But I just feel like it seemed like one thing too many. Like this movie to me is about Finn and his sister, and it's like the first movie. I don't know why they needed to feature him so heavily in this.
Yeah. What'd you think of the weird couple that like owned the camp?
Yeah.
Like what purpose did they serve?
I mean, to be the skeptics, to be the human antagonists, I guess.
I do like that we saw him get slashed, but then their like endings never explained.
I know. What do you mean their endings?
Like we see him get slashed, we don't see the aftermath. Like, do they survive? Do they not?
Oh yeah, we did. We saw them.
Did we?
They were walking around and shit.
Yeah.
They're all like, "Oh, my head."
I also really enjoyed the cowboy chick character. Like every time she'd say or do things, like Chloe started laughing. I was like, "Who is this fucking chick?"
I know. I loved her. She was cool. And you know what I did like? I also liked how like they had this sort of like flirtatious vibe.
Her and Finney.
But they never had that. You know, we're gonna go kiss now. Like I appreciated that it was like there in the background for a kid who's like for like this coming of age thing happening, right? Like it's just enough to show that, to have that sort of vibe of that.
Did you think that Mondo was gonna end up being a bad guy? Because I definitely did for a minute.
Yeah, there was like that first scene where he's talking about, oh yeah, I remember your mom. Like I was like, oh,
and then when he like opens his Bible and he's got the pictures of the 3 kids, I was like, are these like his trophies? Like,
yeah, I think he's just tortured by the fact that he never found them or whatever, which he said.
But I do think they intentionally set it up to make people go, oh, can we trust this character?
Yeah, I agree.
But then that snowman and then the like snowball face, that felt a little out of place.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, is this Jack Frost?
Dude, I don't know. I liked it. I see. Maybe I'm just letting it go. Like I thought what they did here in this movie was cool, and I think what supports it so well is like I love these characters too. Like I cared about what happened to them. I cared about what happened to what's the sister's name?
Gwen.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want her to die. I want her to be okay. I don't want people to think she's crazy. I liked the boyfriend sort of like winning Finn over. You know, because he's giving him shit the whole time, basically. Like when they're like confessing, having that like serious conversation on the bed, and Finn's awake the whole time listening.
And then how like the response, he's like comments, and then they're like, "What are you listening?" And he's like, "Well, I'm right here," or whatever it is he says.
Yeah, I was like, this is great. Like it felt like this is real people. It felt like these are real characters,
but also,
and even in this crazy situation,
knowing that Gwen is a sleepwalker, why wouldn't they tie her to the bed?
Or why wouldn't they tell the people? Wait, she sleepwalks. Like, I guess, I don't know. I've never really interacted with a sleepwalker before. Maybe
I used to sleepwalk.
Did you tell people?
I mean, it was when I was a kid. I don't think I've done it as an adult.
Did they tie you to the bed?
No.
Well, yeah, I've never. There was this kid in college that would have full-on conversations with you in his sleep. He would like be lying down, and then he'd get up and talk to you, and then be like, and go right back. It was like bizarre.
That would creep me out.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy. Let's talk about the grabber.
Yeah.
And that phone call.
It's interesting. When he was like, "What do you think I want?" and kept like leading him down that path, and I was like, "Where's this gonna go? What does he want? What does the grabber want?" And then he was just like, "I want to hurt you." Yeah. I was like, "Oh."
But that's what he always wanted.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, I think, and it's never really clear what he does to those kids.
Mm-hmm.
The sentence, I hate saying the sentence, the first movie, but I think you kind of sort of assume that it's partially sexual.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe it's just physical abuse. Like maybe, because you remember he like wants to catch him sneaking up the stairs so he has that weapon in his hand. He wants to hit him. Like I think he always, his thing is like he wants to hurt these people physically. Yeah. And so like, that's just, I think in this movie more clear now that that's what his intention always was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that phone call is creepy. I think it's well written. I think it's really cool scene.
I love how they shot it with him outside the phone booth talking to him, but Finney doesn't see him.
Yes. I like how they did that multiple times with the kids.
That affirmed me because I wondered if sometimes in the first one if he could see the ghosts. It wasn't clear to me whether he saw them or not sometimes. And this one now made it clear to me like he does not see the ghosts. He just hears them.
Yeah, and this was like one of my criticisms of the first movie where I think I said in the last episode, like I wish we weren't seeing the ghosts as much, but then by the end of the movie I was like, oh, I'm glad we did because we saw Robin like helping him swing the phone or whatever. This is just more support for that now in this movie. I think they did such a good job with showing them.
One thing I didn't like is like when they finally go like looking for the boys and they go to Lake Maru, I think it was called.
They're so good with names.
It just looked
Robin Arbitrary. What was his name?
Robin Ariano.
Ariano?
Ariano.
See, you even know the exact like spelling.
I do, but again, it was my sister's last name. But so Lake Maru, the one thing that that bothered me about this is like we've talked in the past about like reusing a set piece, and like they changed the name, but it looked exactly the fucking same as the other lake.
Yeah, but it's a lake. I mean,
yeah.
I did right. I was like, you're probably like, this is the same goddamn lake.
I mean, immediately I was like, oh, what? You're just gonna move
it's
the phone booth and call it a different lake?
I think it's absurd the cops didn't find these bodies.
Yeah. But I did though. Like
it wasn't
last
that hard to
time,
find them. Yeah.
In the first one, I complained it didn't look like Colorado, and this one I was like, it does look like Colorado. Like actually, like the lake setup looks like there's this town called Evergreen that's like the first town you hit when you drive into the mountains. It's like 15 minutes into the mountains, and they have a little mountain town, and right next to it is a lake that's not huge. But I was like, oh, this looks like Evergreen during a storm. Yeah. Yeah. So I liked that.
So
it
you
actually
bought it this time.
But yeah, I was like, I can see the backdrop. Like I can literally see this is a set. And what we're just gonna like call the lake a different name and pretend we didn't use the exact same set and pretend it was a location change. Okay, like why not just be like, let's look in the lake that's right in front of us?
Yeah, no, that is true. Like I think it could have just been that lake the whole time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I guess it's like if boys did go missing from that camp, then it does make sense that they wouldn't search.
No, I mean
they would have searched that lake.
They would have searched every lake.
Yeah,
that's around the area. That doesn't make sense.
Why did the boys have to be in a lake?
I think he did say something like, "Oh, there's a reason they didn't find." But like, it's to me that's not believable. But
yeah,
I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much going on in this movie for me to care about that little detail. And you're right. Like, I think some of it is a little convenient. Like, I think it's super contrived that like they were both camp counselors. At this fucking thing, like. The grabber was here. Wait, no. Did it turn out that he?
Yeah, the grabber.
It turned out. Yeah, it turned out it was him, right?
But,
yeah.
So that is what's weird. Like, is that they both were counselors there, and then they ended up living in the same town in North Denver, and she just started getting dreams about.
And it could have made total sense that like she didn't go to that camp, but she still had dreams about this guy doing this, and still went to his house to like try to stop it.
Yeah.
And then got killed by him. That makes sense. The one thing, it's like, why also have the connection of like, oh, we also went to the same count as teenagers. Camp. The same camp as teenagers. It's just like, that's one too many things.
Yeah.
And then the dad to be like, oh yeah, your mom went there. And it's just like, why is he so connected to the family now? That's stupid.
Well, and the thing is like, you could do a million different connections that make it make more sense. Like he actually was targeting the mom, but that ends up not being the case. It just is all supposed to be explained away as coincidence. And it's like, then don't have all those connections.
Yeah, 100%. Like if he would have like had some crush on her or whatever and then ended up killing her later, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I think it would have worked fine with her just like with Gwen having the dream, showing the mom like getting up, going to the house where the grabber was keeping the kid, seeing the kid, and then getting caught by the grabber and killed. Like you just need that because you already have the setup of the dream thing and the mom and the suicide and Gwen having the dreams. Like you don't need that one extra thing of connection. It just
that was like
weird.
The one plot point too that really drove me nuts in this one when he does attack the mom. I was like, okay, this was a surprise attack. He's just got his black balloons ready just in case.
Well, it was a dream. Like it was a dream.
But it was like a dream of something that happened.
Yeah, but like how I don't know. It's still a dream.
Yeah.
But
What do you?
I guess you run into the yeah. Go ahead.
Well, finish your thought if it's about this.
I was
'Cause I
just
was about to
I
change
guess you
subjects.
run into the issue of like if it has to be the murder victims of the grabber, then the grabber had to go to that camp, and then to have the mom phone call thing. The mom also had to be. I don't know. It was just like I guess that had to work out that way, right? Because then you
I think
otherwise
here's what I think is the problem. I think the problem is that Scott Derrickson really did want to give Terrence, the dad, a redemption arc, and he cheapened the plot in doing that.
yeah, but you need the mom to send Gwen basically with the phone
right,
call.
but
and
that
shit.
works if she worked at the camp. But the
But
grabber.
no, it doesn't work because if the grabber, because then there has to be a different killer at the camp. Do you see what I'm saying? It can't be the grabber at the camp then.
But I wouldn't have thought about the story at all if it hadn't then gone back to like, oh, the grabber actually killed mom. She didn't kill herself. Like if that part
Yes,
hadn't
okay.
been there,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have felt like there were holes or conveniences that cheapened the
conveniences, yeah.
plot.
I agree. Yeah. And I wonder if they sat here just like we're doing right now and debated this because it is nice to have the mom not actually kill herself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the scene at the end where she talks to her mom at the very end, which I think is an awesome scene.
But
it's
if
hard.
the mom had actually killed herself, it makes what Gwen is doing more brave and more powerful by leaning into this because I would have seen it then as like,
yeah,
this power drove the mom crazy and she felt the need to escape herself where like Gwen is so brave leaning into this and not letting it destroy her.
Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, like she didn't know that either way, she's doing that for that reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because she doesn't find out that her mom didn't kill herself until after she's already trying to not go crazy and to be brave or whatever.
What do you think about...
it's just something that's just like a what?
What do you think about how he shot the dream sequences?
I don't know. It bothered me a little bit. It was a little bit too grainy to me.
That's
like
what bothered me because
looking,
it looked like it looked like oh my god, what's the movie? Sinister. He shot it on a Super 8. That's what I looked up afterwards. Who they shot it on?
See, did he though? Because like it looks like someone's trying to pretend that he shot it on a Super 8.
No, so he shot it on a Super 8. I read a thing about like how he did these shots intentionally, and didn't like use like effects in editing or anything like that, with the intention of making the dream sequences look like Super 8. But it took. I understand wanting to like have a signifier when you're transitioning from.
I mean, you have to
from Dream World to.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
It doesn't have to be this, but it can be anything, but yeah.
But it was too abrupt. Like I literally think that like right when it happened, like Chloe was like, "Oh, are we buffering? Are we losing our signal?"
I think it would have done a favor if they had changed the aspect ratio too. Like, because in Sinister, I think, and it's been a while, like I think they shoot it Super 8, but I think it looks like a home movie, like on a projector. It's not like it's the exact same, aspect ratio as the film is, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Or there's a sound effect there that's like like a film
the
or
camera
whatever.
reels,
Yeah, I agree. I think it bothered me visually, and I think if they would have done something with an aspect ratio or something that made it look clearly like this isn't just my internet buffering wrong or whatever.
Like you got used to it once you figured out what was going on.
Totally.
But
it still bothered me though.
It was
I was like,
still
this is ugly to look at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I liked how that looks, like Super 8, but for whatever reason it looked bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was like lit bad or something, and yeah, it was ugly sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it made it ugly. But everything else I thought looked great. Like I think it even looked better than the first movie as far as like the non-flashback scenes, like especially in the setting that they were at.
I did really like the setting of this one.
Yeah, I love this. Like, yeah, I thought the setting was dope. I love any kind of horror movie where like all of your characters are like isolated somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's always cool. Some of my favorite horror movies like that. I mean, some of the greatest horror movies of all time, like Night of the Living Dead and
The Shining.
The Shining, and yeah. Like isolate your characters, and then it also gives you more of an excuse to do things that in real life you wouldn't be able to do. Like, why don't they just go get the cops, or why don't they just,
why aren't their cell phones working?
Exactly. Why don't they just run away? Or like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I like that. Let's talk about the supernatural stuff
Mm-hmm.
because it goes nuts
Yeah.
in this movie, like real nuts. Nuts where like she's like throwing her around in the dream. The grabber is.
Mm-hmm.
And
I read that they shot that scene it was like a practical effect.
I mean, it looks
and
like
she
it.
did the stunt herself, and
That's cool.
yeah, I liked that.
But did it? Because then they flash to like what the people are seeing, not asleep in the real life,
Mm-hmm.
and she's flying around the room and shit.
They had that in the
What?
trailer, so immediately when I saw the trailer,
so you already
before
knew
this
about
came
it.
out, I was like, "Oh, this looks like it's gonna like be like very like Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger-ish." The
I
trailer,
had no idea. So that just happens.
yeah.
I'm surprised they showed that in the trailer because
Go back and watch the trailer because I
Yeah.
remember when the trailer came out. Like the first one was a good movie, but I don't think it was really scary. When we saw the trailer, we were like, "Oh fuck, this one's going to be really scary." And I actually did not feel that way, and maybe it's because we
You didn't
saw...
feel any suspense when she's getting
I felt suspense, but
thrown
I
around or
didn't
whatever?
think it was scary. And I think part of that problem is that we did see it in the trailer, and so
maybe, yeah.
maybe like because the creepiest reveals, like we saw the phone call with Finney and the grabber in the trailer, you know.
Oh man, that sucks.
We like the biggest surprises and the craziest like aha
This is why
moments.
you don't watch trailers of horror movies. I had idea. Like I had no idea what was going to happen in this movie. When she started flying around the room, I was like, "Holy shit! This is like next level shit." Like I can't believe they're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish that was a surprise to people because to have my reaction, I guess you run the risk of like people thinking it's super silly then if they don't already know that this is going to happen in the movie. Because like I could see people watching that and being like, "This is
Which
dumb."
like in the last episode, I was telling you how like when we were loosely talking about this one, and I told you the only people I know who saw it was like my 15-year-old niece and her friends.
Yeah.
And what she told us is that they just like, she said she was confused because she hadn't seen the first one, but that like some of these things they were like laughing a lot at.
Yeah, I could see people doing that.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, it looks silly. And actually, while I was watching the movie, and I like it, like I thought it was cool. I was thinking to myself, like, if I was doing a movie like this and this was happening, there's no other way to film this. Just do it. Just have them floating around the room. What else are you going to do? Like, you either commit to that being what's happening or you don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's like a less silly way because it always looks weird. When people are finding invisible people,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what I mean? It always looks silly.
It's
there's no way
like,
around it.
For me, the one that kills me is when people are like using like their telepathy and just like holding their hand out.
Yeah.
And, like how do you act that? Like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny. I
Justice for
always
Wanda.
like typically I'm always like, you have to see horror in the theater. Like it's a full,
Yeah.
it's a better experience in the theater. But with this one, I actually was glad that I watched it at home because I think if I had seen it, I would have laughed at some of that stuff and I would have found it more ridiculous. Where instead I was like at home in a smaller, more contained environment in the dark, and it was like very like because I didn't have people around me laughing, I didn't laugh. I was just like, that's creepy.
Yeah, this was a great movie to watch. I have like a 65-inch, like
nice big ball
dope ass thing, and like for this movie, it was perfect.
Benjamin Ballin.
What was I gonna say though?
What'd you think of the grabber ice skating?
But here's the thing, real quick. Hang on before we get there, because I do want to talk about that. The ideas though for this movie are to me earned. Where even when it was silly, I was like, I don't care because they set up this dream thing in the first movie. We've expanded on this movie. It's like now the grabber's back and seemingly invincible and can get them in their dreams at least. Like the stakes are higher. It feels more like, okay, like this is on. So to see her flying around to me, I'm like, I don't know how else you would film this, and I'm in because of the idea of all this.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't care. Like it does look silly. I mean, it looks silly to me, but I don't care. That's how it would look if your friend was getting attacked in the dreams. That's how it would look. And if you think about the first Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street scene, she's like on the fucking rolling around on the ceiling. Yeah. So like this isn't even a new thing that movies have done. So
I like, again, I don't have any issues with the story, how they were able to, I think it's brilliant how they were able to make a sequel out of it. I love how they leaned into being way more supernatural. And that they didn't try to rein it in. They just fully went with it. Yeah. Like literally the issues that I have are all more production related with like the set and like, I mean, honestly, her effects with her spinning, like that didn't bother me. Like I wasn't like, this is silly, but I did think, oh, I bet this is like one of those scenes where all the teens were laughing.
I agree with you. I think that, take away my ability to sort of like accept things for what they are because I like an idea of a movie. Like if this movie was shot with bigger budget and they did more for the set and stuff, like it would have been more of a classic.
That's
like
it.
we'd be watching this movie like 10 years later.
It felt more low budget to me.
It felt low budget than it should be, especially based on the success of the first movie.
The first one, it's like it can be low budget. They didn't have to have a lot going on. But this one, you're expanding upon that. You know you had a success with the first one. Why did this one look like a low budget film?
Because that's Blumhouse. That's what they do.
Blumhouse really knows how to fucking make low budget horror. But I mean, was it Jamie Lee Curtis who I was telling you who was like, yeah, I don't work with Blumhouse anymore because they don't pay. Why do you think they are so good at making low budget movies and making so much fucking money?
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. I think they did a pretty good job overall, but I agree. I wish it was. Do you remember The Ring? Like, remember?
Mm-hmm.
What was that? That seemed big budget at the time. Like, that movie looks great.
I just recently rewatched that, actually. I hadn't seen it in years.
But that's what I want. Like, horror movies have entered this phase where, like, they're all low budget again. And we went through a brief phase in, like, the 90s where, like, they were getting budgets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about The Ring. And I think about What Lies Beneath. And I think about, like, these other movies. I think What Lies Beneath was, like, a huge budget.
Got Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford.
I think it was like one of the biggest budget. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? It probably just went to them. The two of them.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the supernatural stuff. I think it was interesting, like once you got it like cut and stuff. But then if you think about it, when he's ice skating around and hitting other people, does that make sense?
It takes you out of it for a minute. Like
he's in her dream, so she can get hurt. I get that, but he can interact with the real world
anybody.
too.
Yeah, he can just go around.
What if her dream wasn't there? What if her dream was like in London? Can he kill people in London?
Was he Jack the Ripper?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
he's
lucky that she dreamed about the exact spot they were sitting in.
Yeah, that was.
That doesn't make sense.
It was like, you're just going to force yourself into a dream right now. That's convenient.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she was tired.
Yeah, but.
They were plowing that ice, you know?
Yeah.
They're shoveling snow all day. You know? I'm okay with that. I thought she just fell asleep on accident.
Fair. But also, like, you'd think as soon as she started, like, I guess they don't have 5-hour energy in Red Bull back then, but.
I do like, it's funny. I do like the scene overall. I think it's cool. I think it's seen as cool, but when you sit there and you think about it, it really doesn't make any sense unless he's somehow able to like make her dream of a certain location.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's all about someone falling asleep. Otherwise, why can't he just do that at any moment?
Yeah.
Like it sort of breaks a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't catch that.
That's bumming me out right now.
I didn't catch it, but now I'm like,
I didn't either.
Like,
yeah. Thinking about it's like this. Yeah, this is whatever.
Ham sandwich.
Just accept it or don't. Yeah, exactly.
I did read that in the original ending, the kids just, I guess, like pull him into the water, and the test audiences thought that the grabber did not have enough comeuppance. So this was the only thing that they went back and reshot after production had finished, and they added in like his leg getting, was it chopped or ripped or whatever, like all the like violent stuff. They like made it way more violent than it was because of the test audiences. Yeah.
That's cool.
I guess I didn't need it though. Like I would have been just fine with those kids just dragging him down.
I don't know. Like I liked
hell.
that Gwen had her moment and Finn had his moment there. I think I like that. I enjoy that as a moviegoer, as like a B movie fan.
Like they get to get their revenge.
Yeah, they get to like, fuck you, you abusing motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I like the same reason why I loved his line in the first movie where he's like, it's for you, after he like chokes him to death or whatever. I like that. Like give me something as a movie going fan.
I did feel like, we talked in the first one how they had changed the ending a little bit, where like you were supposed to kind of see the boys like released from their purgatory or whatever. And they did kind of end up doing that in this one, and I actually think it worked okay, where I don't think it would have worked in the first one.
Yeah, I agree. I think something about this one, maybe it's because there were less of them, I don't know, or there was a more emphasis on them, and you were seeing them more.
Mm-hmm.
like over and over again. Maybe that's why. But yeah, for some reason it worked for me too.
And maybe it's just because it was set up like the point of this one was freeing those boys' souls. Where in the first one, that's not what the point is. Or if it is, I completely missed it. But the first one, I was like, oh, these ghosts are helping Finney. Oh, by getting him caught, he freed him. But it wasn't played like Finney needed to help those boys.
Yeah, you're right. I guess he's helping them by killing him.
Yeah, he's like released him. But okay, why?
And they release the kids.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm poking plot holes now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why, when he killed the grabber, if those boys were released, why weren't these other boys? Because the body has to be found.
I assume so. Yeah.
So how many other kids are there that the grabbers killed? What are we gonna get in the sequel?
Well, I was thinking about that because like you can go a couple ways with this now. Like you could just have the two of them being like these ghost hunters that, you know, Finn's picking up the phone, hearing what they need. And
would you introduce like a completely new villain?
Yeah, I like to. Here's the thing, like that sounds cool. I mean, I guess that's sort of supernaturalist, like the show, or supernatural-esque. But I think that's cool. I mean, they've kind of set up the rules of this world in a way. Like, do we need another one? No, but like it could be cool if you do it right. Like it could be cool to see Finn and Gwen teaming up and helping the dead, you know, because it's sort of like Sixth Sense meets Nightmare on Elm Street in a way.
Yeah. And then the third one could lean into Ghostbusters, answer the call.
Maybe he just has like a landline phone on his hip at all times, you know, and it just starts to ring and it's like someone like, I don't remember who I am. Help me.
I do really like that element of how they portray this, like the purgatory calls.
I love that. That's the best part. Yeah.
Like, I don't remember my name. It's dark. It's cold, whatever. Like that makes it scary. That's one of the like more cerebral, scary moments for me.
Yeah. And that's where this, like, I think that's where the jumping off point for where this movie ended up, because they were like, well, if a dead person can call him up, technically the killer could call him now that he's dead. Like,
yeah,
there's so many things that this opens now in an interesting way. Like, and then what'd you think of the mom phone call at the end, where the mom calls the phone and then she's like,
my note.
He's like, he doesn't hear it ringing, and he's like, it must be for you or whatever.
My exact note was, kinda hate the mom call.
Oh, really? I liked it.
I felt like it wasn't necessary. It felt, I don't know, more like for me, trying too hard to wrap everything up on a silver platter for the audience. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Imply it. I don't need to see it.
I guess so, but I think at the same time, like that'd be cool if I got a call from my mom.
Fair.
Like, I think the fact that they were so young when she died, the fact that Gwen had inherited this curse, which she says something like, it's not a curse.
It was never a curse. I did like that line.
I love
this shit.
Like, and then she's like, tell your brother I love him or whatever. Like, also, what, you can't call your brother, you can't call your son? What the fuck?
He doesn't want to talk to ghosts.
That's rude. He can't help speaker. Them. I don't understand.
Did they have speaker back then?
Was that alluding to the fact that he won't get phone calls anymore? Like,
I don't know.
Or is it just this one was not for him? So, because he heard the one it was ringing for Ethan Hawke in the first movie.
So does he only hear calls related to the grabber? No, because it's implied that he just keeps getting calls all the time now. So it wouldn't just be grabber victims. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually better than like what Haley Joel Osment had in Sixth Sense, where like they're just like showing up in his bedroom. Like,
oh my God.
At least the phone is ringing and he can ignore it.
Yeah.
Instead of just like waking up and there'd be a dead person next to you.
Oh man.
You know? Anyway. Okay, so final thoughts of this. Like, I actually think this is a cool movie. I liked it a lot. I liked it as much as I liked the first one. I think it's cool that they're two completely different vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the first film is smaller and this one is much expanded. It feels like to me like a T2, T1 situation.
The world is expanded, but that's the thing though, is like my issue is that it's supposed to be an expanded world, but it felt like one.
But the rules are expanded, I guess.
Yeah, the rules have expanded. The world we got to see, I felt like actually became more isolated.
Smaller.
Yeah.
But I think we get a lot more of the sister. We get a lot more Finn. Like, their characters are definitely changing and growing and developing. For better or worse, we have a lot more of the dad. Like, I think the first movie was such a simple story, and it was just about film stuck in that place, and the small bits of the relationship between the brother and sister were really cool, right? But this one, we have full on arcs with these characters, and we have full on scenes. Like I love the scene where he's outside, and I forget his name, but the older
Mondo?
camp guy sits next to him, right, and like he's like smoking weed or whatever, and they're like having that moment together.
Yeah.
Like that's such a cool scene too. Like I love when movies, and Stephen King always does this too, so I think it makes sense that his son would too. But like they're saying so much more about, it's not just about scary shit that happens, it's about life, about growing up, it's about facing your fears, it's about not rejecting the call of responsibility, it's about it's about sacrifice, it's about all these things, right, in this one little horror movie that you're seeing these characters do. Because like a million times, like even the fucking boyfriend character with the glasses, the fact that he just stuck around while all that shit, when his like girlfriend's floating around the world, like in the air and
Well,
shit.
I mean, obviously he wanted to get to have some answers about his brother.
Yeah.
I like that he always believed the two. It wasn't like could he or could he not. But I like that he always believed the supernatural elements with him. It wasn't a question. And I like that it didn't feel like he was only hanging around to get answers with his brother. Like
Yes.
he did genuinely like Gwen.
Yeah, and I love when he asks him
Mhm.
flat out, like, so that shit happened. Like, you got phone calls from from dead kids.
Yeah.
You talked to my brother or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I did. Yeah, that shit's cool. Anyway, I don't know. I liked it.
I mean, you wrapped it up so nicely. Now I'm gonna be like, yeah, it was good.
No, I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, I think I'm being kind to this movie. Maybe I got a little bit of blinders on for it, but
You just got
I also
a
have-
hard
I
on
just
for
have a
Joe
big-
Hill.
I have a big imagination too. So when like crazy ideas like this happen, that excites me more than like, oh, here's just another horror movie again.
I really liked this movie. I thought it was a really good sequel. I don't think it was as good as the first one. They did feel a little disconnected to me at times, but I think the idea for how they executed a sequel was brilliant. Really,
Yeah.
really smart. And then they just fully leaned into that, and I respect that. I just
Yeah.
hated that I could see the set every time they were on the fucking lake.
Yeah, that sucks. That's usually me
Because
saying
once
that
you
shit.
notice it, you don't unnotice it for the rest of
I
the
gotta
movie.
watch it again now, and because I don't know how I missed that.
Because you
what
were
do you
so
think
into the
about
story because you had no
I
idea
guess
what you were gonna
so.
get.
First
so you
of
were
all,
just pulled
they're
in.
all great actors. This movie's full of great actors.
Oh yeah,
all of them, everyone.
yeah, I would agree
I
with
was
that.
like, they're fantastic. What do you think? Do you think they'll do another one? And what do you want to see?
I don't think I can't imagine Scott Derrickson if he wasn't even that interested in the second one until
I bet he was.
Joel Hill sent him that idea. I mean maybe,
Joe.
but it was told like he wanted to move on to other things, wasn't interested in developing the sequel. I think if they do a third one, I do think it probably would be more of a Blumhouse pushed sequel and not hit the same notes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can see those concerns there. I have two thoughts. I think one, that either this is going to make this feel like Scott
Derrickson.
Derrickson. Thank you. I want to say Dickinson.
Scott Derrickson.
Maybe this is like his baby now, and he wants to keep expanding on it.
Mm-hmm. But isn't he working on more sinister stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I honestly have no idea.
I don't know either. But it is funny, right? Oh, okay. I do have to tell you this, even though we're kind of wrapping it up. But I was laughing right when the credits started.
Yeah.
And Chloe goes, "Okay." Immediately, this movie feels like it's trying too hard.
It was the same credits as last time.
But I don't know. It felt so different. And then she didn't know that Scott
It
Derrickson.
wasn't, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, the side of a wall again, and the door."
She
Like,
didn't know that
credits.
Scott Derrickson did Sinister though. So literally, like we're watching it and we're 5 minutes in, and she's like, "This looks like Sinister," and I was like, "Yeah, same director."
It does, but it doesn't. Like, is there a lot of? He's watching films in that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not having dreams. Like, he's watching Super 8 films.
Yeah.
But he's watching the murders happen on film or whatever. In this, they're just dream sequences.
This does make me want to go watch. I haven't seen any of the sequels to Sinister. Is there only 2 of them? I don't even know.
I've only seen the first one.
But the first one blew my mind.
Yeah, the first one was good. I remember being really scared actually the
Yeah.
first time I watched that. It says here that there's nothing that I see on his wiki about what he's doing next. Derrickson. This was the most recent thing. Oh. Wait. Future. Here's a future paragraph. In October 2025, Derrickson stated that he would only develop a third film if the story can be better than the previous 2 installments. He wants the series to be quality over quantity. Hawk also expressed interest in reprising his villainous role in a sequel, stating he would like to explore the background story of the grabber. I guess you could have those 2 characters like investigating his history and
here's
trying to
the
find
thing, though. If we're going with the grabber's backstory and we're getting a de-aged Ethan Hawke.
No. I think what you do is you have like the kids nowadays, present day, teaming up and it becomes an investigation movie about like, let's find the other murders that he's committed and free those kids too.
That'd be cool.
Like a supernatural detective situation.
I like that.
I don't want to see de-aged Ethan Hawke either. But he has a mask on the whole time.
Was very distracted by the younger actor who played him in the like flashbacks with the mom.
We didn't actually see him in motion though. It was just like his photo.
Yeah, but
right.
But we saw him taking her with the balloons when I was like, why does he have a bunch of balloons blown up for a accidental taking?
Because he's a magician.
Which also, okay, I'm so fucking dumb. I didn't I was like, oh, cool, he's a magician. We talked about how like that's a cool idea, but it was like, duh, abracadabra, he makes kids disappear. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot that I didn't get that until like 2 days ago.
I didn't think about that either. That's funny though. Where's your kid? Now you see him, now you don't.
Yep. It makes so much sense for a kidnapper to be a magician.
Yeah. But you think that's why they couldn't find those bodies for so long.
Yep.
It's getting dark. There's some dark humor we got going on. All right. Well, that's our thoughts. Black Phone 2.
I liked it.
You should see it.
Yeah.
If you like the first one, if you like supernatural movies, watch this movie. It's dope. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Tell us if you can see the set and are distracted by it now that I've called that out.
And let us know what you think about the flash or the dream sequences.
Yes. And if you don't know where to let us know, Instagram. That's the only place we be communicating with the peoples.
We never tell people what our Instagram is.
Slasher Bash Pod, I think. I don't know. I mean, if you look up Slasher Bash Podcast on Instagram, you'll find us.
Isn't it Slasher Bash _pod?
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody puts in Slasher Bash, they're going to find us, right? Yeah, Slasher Bash _
I mean,
podcast.
right now, maybe.
Hop on there. Let's do some debating about the grabber. Let's really debate about the Scream films. I'm getting real heavy in the debates right now.
Don't be pissing people off.
I'm not pissing people off. I'm just trying to point out holes in the story.
You might be pissing off, what's her name from True Romance and Scream 7.
Yeah. What? Who?
The girl, the killer.
She's in True Romance?
Wasn't she? Yeah, I think she's in True Romance. No, True Blood. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, she was in True Blood. That's right.
Yeah.
I just always remember her from the acapella movies. What are those?
Never seen them. Pitch Perfect?
Yeah.
No, I've only seen her in True Blood.
I'm
she was like,
utterly shocked you're not a fan of the acapella movies.
I feel like I would be, actually. I just never seen them.
Check them out.
All right.
Well,
thanks, everyone.
great.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Bye.
Peace.